My replay packs are free, and I just posted the one from today that has all the wins. There was a map on Ice and Chrome that was basically textbook how to shut down a Protoss all-in off 2 bases. You just copy-pasted the same message again that you just said. I'm feeling generous, so I'm going to go over one game now for you. Because people have been generous to me. Let's see. Here's an all-in. This is a Protoss all-in in the wild. And this is even one that we're going to be facing with an absurd amount of ping. But you know what? Ping doesn't matter too much when you have the right amount of drones and you identify their build. And Fatal Bunny's going to like this because it involves paying attention to your overlords. So the first overlord goes across the map. Wow. And it's going to scout to see if there's a base here. That's the first thing you look for. And then you go up to this pedestal here. This overlord I have looking around for cannon rushes and that kind of thing at the natural. And there's a probe running around. I'm just doing a hatch gas pool. And I want to be a strong macro Zerg. So my base is finished. I make 2 queens and 4 lings. The 4 lings push the probe off my 3rd base location. And I'll use those to defend the adept later. And we see what? We see a base. We see chrono boost on the gateway, which means they intend to send a unit our way pretty fast or make a stalker. And we see this flashing. The cyber core is the first major piece of information with this standard opening, because it's going to tell you whether or not it's probably Stargate or a warp gate timing. So what do we see here? There's a unit being made, and then right away there's research. How do we know that this isn't Stargate? Well, it could be a later Stargate, but you see their gas here, 125. They just spent 50 gas, which delayed their Stargate to do this. So this first overlord, you're kind of looking at it and seeing, is this going to be Stargate or warp gate? Taking your guess at it. We can see it flashing here, so I'm going to go up to this pedestal. And I'm taking my 3rd at 30 supply. There's a 3rd base. This queen spreads creep and also zones out this adept. These lings chase the shade. The 30 overlord that you hit is really important. We have an overlord that's just about to finish, so we're not supply blocked. Lings are attacking here. We want to get a creep tumor and spend our larva into drones. We are droning as fast as we can. Good job, queen. And now we see a stalker in the wall. So if we send this in, we're going to die. But we can still see something that's really important. This Vespene Geyser. If Protoss is going for a, quote, standard macro build, they usually take this gas at around 330 to 340-ish. When do they take this gas? There is a shield battery, which means they don't want to die to a Baneling bust or something. But it's only 100 minerals, so it doesn't really tell us too much. There's a Twilight up here in the main. I don't know that, but I'm just covering my bases and playing solid. I've droned this base up so it's in the red because we want to go fast. I took a 2nd gas when I had about 35 drones, and I got my lair nice and early. So I can get roach speed and I'll have detection. Still, there's no gas here, so I'm feeling this is probably an all-in. I'm curious, what is this? What is this heckin' build? So I have my lings. I canceled my ling speed to get a faster lair here. You don't have to do that, but that allows me to get faster roach speed in the case that it's the adept all-in. And then my 3rd base is up. It's injected. Anytime you have all 3 of your bases injected, that's a big thumbs up for you. The real power spike of Zerg is their ability to saturate 3 bases really fast and have all their hatches injected. In this case, the Protoss does not have a 3rd, and they didn't take this gas for a while. So I'm not going to drone this all the way, but I still really need the 3rd, so I have enough larvae to make units to defend. Even if Protoss is 2 base all-inning you, you should still have a 3rd base. You have to be able to have the larva to afford stuff. So it's going to be Twilight here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways. Pretty classic 2 base all-in. This kind of build has been around since HOTS. So there's a prism being chrono boosted across, and stalkers are being made now. I can still see no gas, so I'm making units and I'm really trying to spread creep. Creep is good for defending because that means there's more area of the map where you can take a good fight. I have queens being made in the main. And the way that I'm spending my money right now is gas into roaches and tech, and then mineral larvae into lings, and then minerals on top of that into queens. That's my spending priority right now. I sent out 2 spotterlings because I wanted to see if there's a third base. Nope. Nope. So it's a 2 base all in. We've determined this. So I'll just show you my perspective here. I also want to check the wall. I'm injecting everything. Queens are at the 3rd. And I'm making Ravagers here because I saw that it's a Stalker all in. I would not have made this Ravager if it was the Adept play, where they have a whole bunch of Adepts. Speed Roaches are really good against that. But Stalkers have a little bit of bonus damage against Armored, and Ravagers are just higher DPS and higher range. So I would rather have Ling Ravager than just Mass Roach against this. So, made a Ravager. And I'm kind of going into fight here. Yep. The Queens are going in, the Ling Roach is going in. This Prism takes 3 biles to kill. But the main win right now is that we drone the correct amount. I have my 3rd base, but I didn't drone it a whole bunch because I knew it was a 2 base all in. And there was no gas at the natural. This Overseer scouted in the main, and this confirmed the build. So I know that they don't have a follow-up at this. They can't afford to make units from all these gateways and also expand at the same time. So I can focus everything that I have on defense. And as soon as this push is defended, I could drone this base all the way and take a 4th. So because I have 3 base of larva income, I have the flexibility to either make a whole bunch of units like Roachling Ravager, or I can make a whole bunch of drones and get up to 70 or 80. The Queens are focusing the Prism. They do more DPS against air, and they have longer range against air. So if they have the choice, they should always shoot the Prism. And we don't need to chase them over there. We own the map right now. Protoss is making another Prism, but we snap the momentum pretty well. I'll drone up a bit. I'm taking melee, since I'm going to be Ling Ravager focused. Taking another gas, making some more queens. And this next push is going to be easier to defend than the next one, even though it is a bunch of units. Pretty simple stuff. So yeah, if you want to think about defending 2 base all-ins, you should have the mindset of a detective, where you're trying to look at clues. Like this was a clue, the Warp Gate Research Fast was a clue, the Stalker denying scouting was a clue, and then there were 2 clues here of no 3rd base, and then this was the final piece of information that I needed to know that it was an 8 gate. That's basically how you scout and read 2 base all-ins from Protoss.